Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Encourage and Empower podcast. This is a place where we talk about all things faith and fitness. The goal of this podcast is to provide a space to talk about different nuggets of wellness that leave you empowered to live a healthy life. But we also partner it with a biblical perspective because as a Christian, everything that I do revolves around my faith and belief. And yes, that includes what I'm eating and how I'm moving my body. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'm so glad that you're here. Let's dive into today's episode. Okay, today we're talking about something that may seem common and unnecessary, but honestly, it gets pretty overlooked and it's really important. How to read nutrition labels. According to the National Library of Medicine, a letter was written to them in regard to nutrition label education. A study was conducted asking individuals if they understood nutrition labels, and here's what the findings said. While consumers are checking labels, they do not necessarily understand what they're reading. In our study, 57.7% of consumers don't understand the food labels, whereas 39.7% partially understood the food label information. So this study just highlights the reality that reading and understanding what we're eating has not been a high priority. Before I actually spent time learning how to read the labels, I would just look at the calories and the protein and the sugar content. The rest of it was just noise and jargon, and I did not pay much attention to it. However, the contents in the label and the ingredients list have a huge impact on our health, and it's not something to skip over. So that's why we're taking the time to go to the fundamental level and build from there. Because this isn't just about calories and carbs. It's about honoring the bodies that God has given us. We only get one body, and it's our responsibility to take steps to understand what we're putting into our body and to make choices that align with who He created us to be. So here's how we're going to break this down. I want to walk through 3 easy steps on how to read nutrition labels, and then we'll connect it to our faith. Okay, first things first, the basics. If you've ever picked up a packaged item, you've probably seen the nutrition label on the back. There is so much information there that it can be overwhelming. In fact, wherever you are, try to find a packaged item right now and read it along with me. Maybe you're in the car, grab a protein bar wrapper, your pantry, wherever you are. Let's read along. You should see something like serving size, calories, and % daily values. Understanding these basics helps us make better decisions. So here's what we're looking for. Serving size is key because the calories and the nutrients listed below are based on that amount. Next is the calories. Calories give you an idea of the energy that your food is providing you. When we talk about weight loss, you've probably heard the phrase calories in, calories out. But really, calories are just energy consumed, and your activity level is your energy burned. So I like to say energy in, energy out instead. The % daily value or % DV shows how much of a nutrient you're getting compared to a daily target. This daily target is based on the standard 2,000 calorie diet. So if you're tracking your calories and macros, and if you're in a deficit or a surplus of that, make sure you keep that in mind when you're looking at that 2,000 mark. A quick rule of thumb. A nutrient is considered low if it's 5% DV or less, and high if it's 20% DV or more. This info can help you decide if your food aligns with your nutrition goals. So thinking about this from a biblical perspective, Proverbs 18:15 tells us that the heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. When we learn how to read these labels, we're not just gaining knowledge, we're seeking out wisdom that can help us care for our bodies well. So as you read through serving sizes and calorie counts, view it as an opportunity to grow in wisdom while being mindful about what you're putting into your body. Alrighty, we're moving on to step 2. We want to identify key nutrients. Not all nutrients are created equal. There are some that we want to limit, like saturated fats, trans fats, added sugars, sodium. And there are some that we want more of, like fiber, vitamins, and protein. So why does this matter? Because it's about balancing what fuels our body and limiting what might hinder us from performing at our best. And this connects back to being a good steward of our bodies, because honoring our bodies means that we care about what we're putting into them, and making wise food choices is a simple yet impactful way to do that. So when you're looking at a nutrition label, highlight those key nutrients. Look for lower percent daily values, under 5%, on sodium, sugars, and then aim for higher values, over 20%, on fiber and protein. Fiber helps with digestion and keeps us full longer, and protein supports our muscles, helping us stay strong. To get more fiber in your diet, look for ways to add more apples, chickpeas, avocados, and whole grains. And if you're looking for more high protein, I'm all about an animal-based diet. And we'll talk about more benefits of a high protein diet in another episode. But when you're reading nutrition labels, look for high protein sources and try to have a protein source with every meal and snack. So this can look like eggs, ground turkey, steak, or salmon. Here's a simple way to check if your plate is balanced with protein and fiber. Hold up your hand and think of it as a plate. You want to have a palm-sized amount of protein during each meal, and your fingers are the amount of healthy carbs and fats that have fiber, like vegetables, grains, avocados. So following a guide like this ensures that you're feeling satisfied and full while always fueling your muscles and organs with what they need to do what they were designed to do. So now for our third and final step, you want to understand the ingredient list. It's not just about the numbers on the nutrition label, but it's about what's actually in the food. The ingredient list is where we get the real story of what we're eating. So it's usually located just below the nutrition facts. Sometimes it's on the side, and the ingredients are listed by weight from most to least. So here's where we can find hidden sugars, unhealthy fats, and other additives that don't do much to support our health. Here's an easy tip. The fewer the ingredients, the better. And the more recognizable they are, the better. If you see an ingredient that doesn't even sound like a real word that you can't understand, go ahead and Google it. Make sure you know what you're putting in your body. Terms like high fructose corn syrup, maltose, partially hydrogenated oils, those are all signals to look out for those added sugars and those unhealthy fats, the things that we want to limit. I like to think of this as a chance to pursue more knowledge about what we're consuming. Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge." So understanding what's in our food allows us to make informed choices, which in turn empowers us to live a life that aligns with God's call to care for our bodies. So putting it all together, those are the basics of reading a nutrition label. By focusing on serving sizes, keeping an eye out on key nutrients, and checking the ingredient list, we're taking intentional steps to care for our bodies as God intended. The daily small choices that we make with our food have long-term compounding effects, and they really add up. So take the time to educate yourself, read the labels, look out for healthier swaps, and build a foundation that is strong. This is how we take practical actions on honoring God with our bodies. So here's a little challenge for you. Pick 3 packaged food items that you have in your kitchen and try out these steps on the labels. Look at the serving size, check those nutrients, and read the ingredients. Become familiar with pausing before eating and taking a look. If you know you're going to be eating at a restaurant, pull up the menu ahead of time and take a look. Most restaurants have a full nutrition guide PDF available on their website. This is a way to be informed, in control, and empowered when making food choices. So thank you for joining today's episode. I would love to know what you find in your pantry and if you have any helpful food swaps. So drop a comment below. Make sure to subscribe to stay in the loop on all things encourage and empower, and I will talk to you again soon.